Hello Pips, so in this lecture I'm going to talk about something that I consider extremely important for you to know right from the beginning. So before we delve deeper into learning how to program, I will teach you how to actually manage your code base and control the versions, be able to interact with the community, contribute to other open source projects, because everything that we are doing here in this project will be open source. And you will learn how all these things work. And usually this is done with a web application called Github. So you can just search Google for Github. And on GitHub's website, you can just create your account. I already have mine. You can just create your account and it should be very straightforward. After you create your account, we will create a new repository because we need a new repository for the project we are working on. And since this will be a CoinMarketCap app, let's call it CoinMarketCap. And this will be on my... You can give it a description if you want. I'm not going to use it. It will be a public repository, otherwise you have to pay for the service. And it will be an open source project anyway, so it can be public right from the beginning. And let's not initialize the project in any way, because I want to teach you how to do it from scratch. If you do it from GitHub, it immediately provides you with a way to create an empty project, but since we already have some code, let's do it like from scratch. And then you just give it the name and then you can just create the repository. And now you have the instructions here on how to create or how to set up, let's say, your repository. In our case, we already have code. So we would use this option here that says, or push an existing repository from the command line. And this is exactly what we are going to do. But I will actually learn very quickly how this is done because I've never done this on a Windows machine. I'm used to using Linux. So I'll just set it up really quickly and I'll teach you how this is done. So now what we want to do to make this easier, let's see if the video doesn't get too long. I will actually teach you how to do this from the command line, but since this feature is already integrated into Android Studio, let's try to do this straight from Android Studio. To make it easier for you if you are just starting, this command line thing might be a little bit complicated. So now that we have Android Studio opened, there is this menu here and we have here VCS. VCS stands for Version Control System. And this is exactly what we need. So Git, like many others, is a version control system, a distributed one actually. I can go into details in another video on how all these things work. It's not relevant for now. Because there is a very high chance that if you work in a company, they will use Git anyway. But if you want to know how Git works, I will maybe do a video on this in the future. So if you go to the VCS menu, you have here Enable Version Control Integration. And this is where we click. And now select the version control system to associate with the project root. And here we want Git. The CVS is an extremely old one, very famous, kind of deprecated right now. Subversion is kind of a clone of CVS. And Mercurial is also another one. Let's go with Git. That's what we want. Let's press OK. And now you see here at the bottom, created Git repository. So now we already have the repository created. So now that we have the repository created, we need to, let's say, upload this code to GitHub. And the process of uploading the code to GitHub in Git dialect, it's called push. It's a push. You are pushing the code to GitHub. And this is exactly what we are going to do now. So we are going here to VCS, Git, because now we have this Git submenu, because we specified that we want Git. And now we want to push our changes. And so you click push. But now that you want to push, how do we create this connection between what we have and what's online? Because we need to somehow connect these two. Because we created the repository on our machine, but we also created another repository on the GitHub's website. So we need to somehow connect these two. And this is not done. This is not done on this menu. So we go VCS, Git, and then we have the concept of remotes. Remotes is everything that is remote. So if we select remotes, we have name and URL, and we click this plus, and now our origin usually refers to the remote place where our code is, and we need to specify the URL. So we go back to the browser, and right now I'm going to use HTTPS for the purpose of this demonstration, and then I will teach you how to do this in, let's say, the proper way. I'll click here to copy to the clipboard. I go back to Studio and I press here the copy paste the URL. And now it checks the URL, everything is okay. Okay, so now we can try to push our code. If we go here, git push, but we cannot push anything. Why? Because first we need to tell Git what we want to push, and this is called a commit. We need to commit something. We need to select the files that we want to commit, and then we push. So let's do this first. Now Git is asking me if I want, or Android Studio, but this interface with Git, that a new file was created, and if I want to add this file to the project. Let's say yes for now. At the bottom you have here version control. You can click here, and then you see here default and unversioned files, and you have all these files. For now, to make it super simple, let's just select everything, right click, add to VCS. And now everything is, let's say, ready for commit. So in Git, you notice that you have 3 stages. First, you need to select what you want to commit, which is called, this intermediate state is called the staging area. And then you commit what you want, and then you push what you want. You can commit as many times as you want without pushing, so no one anywhere will know what you are doing. But as soon as you push, it will be public, so anyone has access to your code. And this is exactly what we are going to see now. So we can just click here the default. We have 38 files, right click, commit. And now we need to choose the commit message. I will just uncheck these checkboxes. It's not relevant for now. And I just put here initial commit. Very standard first message for your Git repository. And let's say commit. And you notice here, as soon as I put the cursor here, I see here commit and push, and create patch. Let's commit and push. And now I have an overview of the changes. You can always check what you want to push. We see here initial commit, and now we say push. So now I have to put my login and password. So here I put my login, I put my password, and I just press OK. If everything goes well, we should be able, so it's here, push successful, pushed master to new branch, origin/master. So if everything goes as expected, I should be able to go back to GitHub, refresh the page, and the code should be there. So let's do that right now. I'm here, I just refresh the page, and boom, here is everything. So right now, if you are watching this video, since I recorded this previously, of course, at the point that you are watching the video, if you go to GitHub to this URL, you should be able to see the code. So from this point onwards, I will always push every single result from each lecture to this GitHub repository. And I will try to find a nice way to organize everything, and I will teach you more things about Git in the future. But right now, very simple, very straightforward. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will try to reply as soon as possible. and maybe make future videos on how to better use Git, because this will definitely be necessary once we start doing branching and merges and rebase and all this stuff that you don't need to care about right now. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you are notified from new videos. You should hit that notification bell to get always notified. Don't forget to press the like button to make sure that YouTube knows that you are interested in this content. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and you learned something. And on the next video, let's go back to programming.